Well, hey there, Metagenic sales reps. If you know me, hey. If you don't, my name is Adam Banning. I've been with Metagenics for the past 17 years. For the first 16 years, I was a Metagenic sales rep in the New York City area, bringing my sales back in 1992 from $23,000 in a month all the way up to its height at approximately $272,000 in sales in a month. You may be asking, how'd I do that? I did that by understanding my territory and the demographics of the different modalities of healing that were being practiced within that territory. I knew that one of the major modalities, as I'm sure in your territory, is chiropractic. Right now, as sales reps, we get taught many times about specific products which can be very helpful in a wide variety of different areas of the body, such as detoxification, Ultra Clear Plus, an amazing product. Heavy metal detoxification, Metalloclear, amazing. Caprex, amazing in regards to pain. All of these different areas are wonderful ways to be able to help patients. But there's a certain subheading or subgrouping of practitioner within chiropractic that really only focuses on musculoskeletal disorders. They may be your chiropractic low B, C, and D accounts. Those specific accounts can be very, very big accounts by focusing on what their needs are as opposed to our product du jour or product of the day. That's why we've revisited 3 Phases of Care. 3 Phases of Care is an amazing program which was created by Dr. Lisa Perry and Ryan Perry, and it allows practitioners to really understand how to seamlessly integrate nutrition within the different phases of care that they already bring their patients through. Chiropractors know what you mean when you say the acute phase of care, that first 3-day period where there's acute swelling, pain, and muscle spasm. They know what you're talking about when you talk about that subacute healing phase, which is usually between 4 and 6 weeks after that. And they understand what you're talking about in regards to chronic care or wellness care. What they've done, or Dr. Perry and Ryan Perry have done, is they've allowed us to be able to really put the products in there to help the practitioner do 2 things. Get better outcomes, and with the system, deal with the biggest problem that chiropractors are dealing with these days. And that is that patients will many times leave when their pain is gone, but before they are fully healed, putting them at much higher risk of a re-injury, or, if there are too many re-injuries, having to go in for surgery. So that's a big issue that we can help them with the 3 Phases of Care. Now, we took a look at 3 Phases of Care and we asked ourselves, why didn't it work so well when we first introduced it? And we got together a group of chiropractors from around the country. They are our chiropractic advisory board. And we sat down and we shared with them 3 Phases of Care, a webinar on 3 Phases of Care, and the products related to 3 Phases of Care. And they gave us some great insight, and we believe we've got ourselves an amazing way to be able to take those B's, C's, and D chiropractors and turn them into A and A pluses by really focusing on what their needs are, and that being musculoskeletal disorders. One of the things that the Chiropractic Advisory Board told us is giving people so many products and charging them so much right up front was an initial barrier to entry when it comes to patients coming in for their first time. When a chiropractic patient comes in for the first time, often what they're expecting is to be able to pay a possible $20 or $30 copay on top of what their insurance will pay for. They don't expect to be able to buy 3 bottles of supplements, which can cost upwards of $80 to be able to purchase on top of the copay. Having those 3 separate bottles is a real barrier to entry. So the Chiropractic Advisory Board, along with myself, Randy Folienti, and other members of our internet marketing team, sat down and came up with something new. It's called Acute Phase Packets. Instead of a person having to be able to buy 3 separate bottles, they can actually spend 40% less than that and buy those 3 separate formulas in packets, just enough for that acute phase, those first few days. So that is the Acute Phase Packets. Practitioners are going to love it. They've been asking about it for the longest time. And other companies such as Orthomolecular have formulas, approaches like this, and they do very, very well with it. So we can take their business when it comes to that. So that's the first phase, and we created those packets according to the recommendations of our Chiropractic Advisory Board. This is what your chiropractors want. The next phase deals with subacute. So we're dealing with healing. And I'm sure Bill Shattle will get into all the different aspects of the subacute phase. Past that, when they're healed, if the individuals first started into, or before they came to the chiropractic office, they had themselves some form of degeneration in their joints or osteoarthritis, then you would put them into a maintenance known as chronic. And that would be the Wellness Essentials Joint Focus. If an individual had no degeneration before they came into the chiropractor, such as osteoarthritis, you put them into the third phase, which is known as wellness, and that's wellness essentials. All of these phases together are so beautifully and clearly pointed out by the literature that we have currently, that are prescription pads and cheat sheets for the practitioners to understand exactly what the protocols are. In addition to that, also a beautiful trifold brochure, which is extremely helpful for the patients to be able to understand what each phase is and why they're going through it. And then lastly, an amazing 8x10 brochure that we're going to have, 8x10 flyer that we're going to be having coming out. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to point out what each phase is and why the patient should go through it. It's a great neat tool for the doctor to teach the patient why they shouldn't leave when they're out of pain because they're not healed yet. And the practitioner will really appreciate that tool. So all of these things together really make this an amazing program to be able to take those routes that you currently have, and I know you all have them, that are filled with B minuses, or excuse me, low B's, C's, and D's, and you stand there and go, boy, I wish I was in that other route with the A's and A pluses and high B's. You're going to love your B, C, and D routes now because you got something to offer them that they really want to hear about. And that's acute phase and the other products of 3 phases of care and all the great tools which meet their needs. Remember one thing. You want to be able to sell to a practitioner products that apply to different types of diseases and disorders that they see more often than not. If you walk into a mainstream chiropractor who sees musculoskeletal disorders 9 out of 10 times, and then may see other visceral things like IBS or hormonal imbalance or allergies 1 out of 10 times, it might be best that you sold them the products for the thing that is 9 out of 10 times. That's what 3 phases of care and acute phase is all about. Those routes in which you have so many practitioners which are seeing musculoskeletal disorders, but they seem to be low on your list because they're not purchasing, they're going to be high on your list because they're going to buy lots of acute phase and all of the other products which are related to 3 phases of care. Hey folks, go out there and get them. And remember, genetic potential through nutrition is everyone's right, but it's your opportunity and your responsibility to teach the practitioners how to make application. Have a great day. Take care.